Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today, we're flying the Cirrus SR22, going from Lake Minchumina in Alaska, going southeast bound to Talkeetna. We've been there a couple times. 19,000 feet, about 120 miles, 36 minutes. And it seems a little bit odd. We're only doing a 36-minute flight. Why are we going so high in such a fast plane over a relatively short distance? Well, if you take a look at the map, we're going from this lake over this mountain range down into Talkeetna. So we need to go at a high altitude to clear this. But there's more to it. You'll see when we get in the sim. Climb aboard, and let's go flying. Okay, here we are loaded in. We're in the default Cirrus paint scheme, which is actually pretty cool itself. Let's go ahead and the airplane load in. Let's go ahead, battery switches, strobe lights. We'll probably, yeah, right away we get a low battery indicator. Or not low battery, but a battery drain. Set the CDI to GPS here. Alright, a couple things to check. Mixture should be idle, not full rich when it starts there. But okay, whatever. Boost pump on. Now the mixture full rich. Full throttle. Close it. And it keeps bouncing back like that. There's something definitely going on with this. Bump it a tiny bit forward. I'm gonna have to get that checked out. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's turn magnetos to both. Clear left, clear right, and we're ready to start the engine. Clear! Alright, oil pressure's immediately going up into the green. Temperature's starting to rise. Battery drain, we can go ahead and turn the alternator switches on. That will, that'll bring that back up. Avionics on. Can lean the mixture out a little bit, looking for peak RPM. Looks like we hit it there, about 12. Yeah, there we go, that's peak. Pull back on the power. Turn to idle. And let's release the parking brake. And go ahead and get ready to taxi. Nav light on too, while we're thinking about it. Make a little bit of a tight turn coming up the hill is a little bit tricky, so we've got to put some extra power in here. Pull back as we're coming around, and yeah, it looks like there's a vehicle kind of sitting there. So a little power to get uphill again. It's kind of a steep uphill on the ramp here. Back down. Start rolling kind of fairly quickly here. We're gonna taxi right out to about here. Hit the brakes. And set the parking brake. Let's go ahead and do a quick run up. This mixture goes full rich. Throttle up to for about 27%. Yep, 1700 RPM. There we go. Alright. Landing lights, ice light, pitot heat on. Our electrical systems are looking good. We can turn these two off. We leave the landing light on for takeoff. Let's do a quick mag check. It's a good drop. Back to both. Good. Now the left. Good drop. Back to both. And that's back to where it was. All our engine instruments are looking good. No warnings, cautions, alerts, other errors, indicators. So we are good. We're going to go ahead and pull back on the power. We're going to lower the flaps to half. Check our trim wheel. Our takeoff set. It's good right there. Outside flaps are confirmed at half. Check the rudder, elevator, ailerons. All are functioning properly. We go back into the cockpit. Let's set our FLC for 103, which is our best rate of climb. Altitude, we're going at 19,000 feet. VNav on, nav on. Alright. So, with the wind being calm, let's grab the weather real quick, actually, while I'm thinking about it. You know, when it loaded in, it said the wind was pretty light. Yeah, okay. Variable at 3, so it's not totally calm, but that's light where the direction of takeoff won't really matter. 10 miles visibility, clear skies. It is a beautiful day up here. 29 Celsius, 29.99 on the altimeter. We're going to go ahead and set the parking brake, or release it, taxi out onto the runway, confirm one more time, flaps are half, mixture is full rich, we are good to go out onto the runway here, and line up. Full power, airspeed is already alive, engine instruments are good. 77 rotate. Terrain rises, the runway rises just a little bit there. Alright, good rate. We can bring the flaps up. 1,500 feet, we'll go ahead and turn on course. And pick up the GPS track and engage the autopilot. Look at that! What a beautiful view! Lower the nose a little bit here. What an absolutely beautiful view. That's Denali right there in the background. And Mount Foraker. Alright, let's go ahead and engage the autopilot here.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright, landing lights can come off. We're gonna leave the power full forward. Why is it 97? There. I slipped back a little bit there. Alright, yes, so full power climb, best rate, 103 is set. And we can do that, although we normally do about 110. So what we'll need to do is just monitor our engine temperatures. As long as the engine is getting sufficient cooling, we should be okay. If it starts to get a little bit warm, all we need to do is raise the airspeed by lowering the nose. We'll get some increased cooling. We will lean the mixture just to stay at the bottom of the green arc, just like normal. And should be a pretty quick climb up to 19,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the flight display tracker there. Of course, the ETA is going to show a much higher time while we're in climb. Take a look out that way, you can see all the hills rolling and stuff. It's just a beautiful area. Got this nice lake, all these trees around, rolling hills, and then these very tall mountains up ahead. Beautiful out that way too. Grab a quick look out of the cockpit. Yeah, wow. That is something spectacular. Yeah, we'll go back into the cockpit here. Alright, so our route today, we talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the video. Minchumina, or Lake Minchumina right here. Airport, right there on the kind of northwest side of the lake. I'll fly over this relatively flat land, and then it starts going up in elevation, and then the mountains. And yeah, this right here is where the summit of Denali is, so we are going to fly right, basically right at the side of the summit. And then we'll come over and basically drop down into Talkeetna, where we've flown a couple times. Pretty area with the Cirrus River. Pretty simple 36-minute flight. We're not going to be up at cruise very long, but we will have a chance to admire the scenery for sure. Pretty simple, straightforward. Absolutely beautiful weather. I mean, 29 Celsius. Now it's true we're in the interior. But I mean, even by those standards, it's quite warm. Weather in Talkeetna is looking pretty good as well. Actually, almost all of the interior of Alaska today is getting beautiful weather. Even southwest Alaska is getting very warm. South Central, so the Kenai Peninsula, Anchorage, Kodiak, Valdez isn't getting particularly great weather, and Southeast Alaska isn't, but the rest of the state, for the most part, is enjoying beautiful, hot, warm weather. Hot, warm. Hot, sunny weather, I should say. Pitot heat required. That's 3 Celsius. We'll go ahead and turn that on. We're getting really good climb performance. 1800 feet per minute, which is quite good. Up to 12,000. This is in the way a little bit. Gives you a pretty neat view though. Another view out that way. -4 Celsius up here at 14,000 feet. Pretty out there. And yeah, our engine temperatures are all looking quite good. 325. Alright, let's pull that up and lean the mixture to the bottom of the green. Right there. Let's also go ahead and switch the fuel tanks while we're thinking about it. So we've burned probably a good, 5.5 gallons. So it's a little early to switch, but it doesn't hurt to. we may not even need to switch it back the rest of the flight, although we might. A little bit of a headwind component, about 5 knots. So these are, I would say these are quite favorable conditions to be flying up here. Yeah, I was looking for a route to do for today's video, and I said, well, I could do a bunch of places, and I've probably flown into and out of most of them. It's true I've flown into Talkeetna a couple times, and I think I've flown out of Talkeetna once or twice. But, Minchumina is a new place, and I couldn't help but take advantage of how good the weather was, or is, and the view that we would be able to get by this route. As I've mentioned, I mean, the highlight of it is going to be passing the summit of Denali right up close. So we'll see if it lives up to the hype, but I have a feeling that it's going to be quite impressive and enjoyable. We are 17,000 and change. Only about 1,500 feet more to reach cruise. $18,000, we could go ahead and set standard pressure on the altimeter. Yeah, that's pretty. A little more flat out there, but you can still see some rolling hills. As we're looking back over the... That's kind of tundra. Some forest. Out kind of over toward... I guess that goes toward McGrath. And ultimately further out towards southwest Alaska, that direction. And look at that. There's 19,000 feet. We're going to pull back on the power on 85%. No, less than that, actually. 30.5 on the manifold pressure. Just somewhere between 83 and 84%. That right there is good. We're going to go ahead and lean the mixture for peak power, which is right about 20 gallons per hour. That low. Right about there. And, well, we've got about a 7 to 8 knot headwind, which isn't bad. And, yeah, this is the reward. Well, not quite, actually, that's not true. We get this beautiful view right up front. Right now it's like having back row seats in the movie theater. I mean, you can see the entire screen and just an overview of everything, but it's a little bit in the distance. Give it a few minutes, we're gonna have front row seats. I suppose we can make that analogy. And yeah, you can tell exactly where the peak is because it's the only green and yellow on the map. Just off our left wing, we'll look down and be able to see the town, or just campsite or something. And there's a little airport there called Talkeetna, which lies north of the summit of Denali. Kind of southeast of Lake Minchumina, where we started, and to the southwest of Nenana, which is kind of the final town before you reach Fairbanks. I don't know how well we'll be able to see it from over here. Might be a bit far out. Looking to see if we can pick it up. It's kind of tough to tell, but I think it may be right over here. It is tricky to see, but I think it's over here in this area somewhere. Alright, let's grab a look right ahead. Those mountains out over that way. Those aren't the Talkeetna mountains. No, those. Well, they're still part of the Alaska Range. They're kind of a separate group. And yeah, look at that. It's the Chugach Mountains. We'll probably be able to see Anchorage here. Yes. That's beautiful. Back into the cockpit. And yeah, showing about 21 more minutes. A third of the way, actually a little more. We're gonna go 1,000 feet up. And about 20,000 feet. FLC and power in. down? No. Oh, we can't run full power like that. Engine temps, exhaust temps were too high. Cylinder temps were okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. We'd have to enrich in the mixture. Where it's set, though, we can cruise climb. And we are doing a slow climb. The reason I want to get up to 20,000 feet is, well... well, the summit is 20,300 feet. We're right about that. And just a tiny bit forward, we're looking for 30.5. Again, this throttle keeps like jumping. Yeah, there we go. Shouldn't keep spiking like that. Yeah, look at the view. Wow. That's gorgeous. Mount Foraker's right there, kind of in front of the right wing. Of course, the highlight here. Summit of the tallest mountain in North America. Denali. It was known for about 100 years as Mount McKinley until I think about 10 years ago they changed the official name of the mountain back to Denali. So it was known for centuries as Denali by the native Alaskans. And I guess when a prospector or somebody discovered the mountain, they named it after President pretty sure William McKinley, who served back in the early 1900s. I think up until like 1907 or something like that. And I don't remember the exact dates or whatever, but the name stuck, so they called it Mount McKinley for 100 years until right about 9 or 10 years ago they passed legislation that made the official name of the mountain back to Denali. There it is. Right there off our wingtip. That is absolutely spectacular. Look, the wing blends in with the snow. If you take a look over here, not nearly as tall, but pretty impressive as well, is Mount Foraker. Grab one last view of Denali right here before we pass back over. And that is probably about as close as we are going to comfortably get. I'm sure you could fly closer. I bet you could probably land something up there. Actually, probably not. Because anything with the power to get that high would probably require a lot more flat area to land on. Get a beautiful view of these mountains, kind of south of the summit, out over this way. And up ahead, I don't think we can see Anchorage. At least not yet. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to. It is kind of cloudy down there today. Anchorage and the Kenai Peninsula are not getting as nice of weather. That might be kind of tucked right back here. Might just barely be able to make it out, but I'm not 100% sure. The reason we were cruising at 19 and not 20,000 is for direction of flight. We just came up to 20,000 to get kind of eyeball with the summit. But we also only have about 13 minutes to go, so we need to immediately start descending. So what we're going to do is turn the FLC on. I'm gonna set... Oh, come on. Let's turn it down a little bit. FLC to 160. Pull back on the power to about 35%. And we'll raise the altitude back to, let's say 4,000. And we get this massive glacier. Actually, two of them coming down from the high mountains. Right down into the Talkeetna Valley. Grab a view outside. Look at that. Wow. That's pretty remarkable. Flip back around, you can see the two summits here. Mount Foraker and of course Denali. Wow. Now that's a view worth. I dream of seeing something like that in person someday, but to be able to see it in Flight Simulator is pretty cool. Right, let's grab the weather in Talkeetna because we don't know the altimeter and we need to get that. We also need to plan for the wind. Alright, variable at 3, 10 miles visibility, clear, 21 Celsius, so definitely a bit cooler, but that's incredibly pleasant. 3001. So let's go ahead and set that. 3001 set. And my thought is we'll probably go ahead and take the visual approach to runway 1. Take a look real quick. While they show the wind shifting to the south, well, we can go runway 19. Let's actually go ahead and set that up. Select approach. We'll do visual 19. Obstacle clearance not provided. We will set the GPS track. And it's showing just under 10 minutes that we'll get to that. We'll get to that fixed, and then we should be on the ground in 11 to... yeah, about 11 minutes actually. I know that says 10, but that's to the next fix. Unless it's rounding down or something like that. We can lower that to 2,000 feet. Whoa! let's set it to 2,000 for right now. And yeah, at our altitude, you just see these big red dots. Of course, Denali and Mount Foraker. There's another summit right there. I'm not sure what that is. It's coming up right about 12 to 13,000 feet. I could look on the map. That there is Mount Hunter. That must be Mount Hunter. Yeah. Yeah, so Mount Foraker is here at 17,000 feet, Denali at 20,000, and Mount Hunter at 14,000 and change. And then you have Mount Huntington nearby at 12,000. So the two glaciers were the Talkeetna and Ruth, and then there's the Talkeetna further out. That'll be off to our right. So if we up here take a look, I think that's that further one out over here. We go out of the cockpit and look behind us. That's the Talkeetna and Ruth Glacier, respectively, from left to right. Relative on the screen, not left and right wingtips. So, yeah, Talkeetna and Ruth. Absolutely beautiful view. And yeah, our descent rate is actually steeper than the RNAV, or the VNAV is suggesting, so we are going to slow the plane down a little bit. Just pitch for 155, and that will give us a slightly more shallow descent rate. Target for about 1,100 to 1,200 feet per minute is what we're looking for. About 1,100. It's okay to go slightly steeper than that, because we'll want to level off and be able to bleed some airspeed to get set up for the approach and stuff. Alright, I see the town of Talkeetna. And I believe I see the airport, although we have to be careful because Talkeetna has a bunch of small airports around it. This is the main one, and the town are right in that area. So we're pretty close. Let's check some items here. Do we need to lean or enrich in the mixture? No, we're within the green. Okay, other things. Pitot heat can come off. Still a touch early to do the landing lights, but I mean, we probably could do that. Let's go ahead and do it. Landing light on. Switch the fuel tank. Boost pump stays on. I don't think we shut it off in cruise, but that's okay. What it's good for is suppressing fuel vapors. Particularly at warmer temperatures, but it's alright to leave it on. Turn boost pump on during takeoff, climb, landing, and switching fuel tanks. So whenever you switch, it should be on. Takeoff, climb, you can turn it off at cruise. You can have it off in descent until you get low and prepared to land. You need to have it on for when you put full power in the event of a go-around. So that's what that's for. That's also why you put the mixture full rich. Because you need to have the mixture full rich if you go full power. If you have to do a go-around or a missed approach. Picking up that vertical path. Oh, so the FLC actually cut off. I'm okay with that. I'll help us bleed a little more speed. We can pull the power back a little more. Pull back to about 25%. That'll help us get slowed down. Only about 12 miles from the airport. So that'll give us the time that we need to get set up here. We can zoom back in on the map. Yeah, 5 miles is good.
Here we go.
Look at that. Look at the river kind of carving its way up through the hills there. I call those hills. I mean, they're probably mountains, but compared to the ones that we were just flying over there, they look more like hills. Quite pretty nonetheless. Let's set a heading bug 130. Turn on the heading indicator, or a heading bug for the autopilot. Activate vector to final, and continue descending down. In this area, we can actually continue further down, because we're still over 1,000 feet. 2,000 feet above this terrain, so we can go all the way down to 1,500. Airport elevation, I believe, is 360. 365, yeah, pretty close. So we can go all the way down to, let's say, 1,400 feet. We're gonna stay about 1,000 feet above airport elevation when we set up on final. All right, gonna continue. Pull the power back out. We just need to watch our cylinder head temps. They're going to start falling pretty quick here with the power taken out. We're going to go ahead and turn in a little bit more. Set 150.
Okay. Invincible.
Set nav. We're slow enough. We can go ahead and go half flaps. And final items. see, all our lights are on. Fuel switch pump is on. Mixture goes full rich. We don't need to switch fuel tanks. And let's just check where our trim is at. When we disconnect the autopilot, it'll probably jump a bit. Alright, we should be getting established here. Very, very gentle crosswind. Let's go ahead, disconnect autopilot. Let's check our, set the trim, and yeah, we're good to go. Just a tiny bit off course to the left here. But yeah, we're nice and slow. Just above the glide path, we're looking okay. And we're a tiny bit high. We can let the plane come down a little bit. We can just leave it. We're actually trimmed out quite well. Pull back on the power a little bit. Just don't want the cylinder head temps to go below 240. They're at 268 right now. So if we need to, we can go full flaps and add some power in. We'll probably do that here in a moment anyway, as we get on final. Yeah, let's go. We've got very calm, smooth air. Beautiful. Alright, full flaps. Add the power. Pitch for about 80 knots. So we'll steepen our descent rate a little bit. $600 to go. Just the ever tiniest bit high. 500 to go. Yeah, now we're looking really good. This is a very nice approach setup. Look at the river. It's kind of shining in the sunlight. And look at that. Oh, you get the beautiful view of those mountains right there. Absolutely lovely. Right on glide path, just a tiny bit to the left of the runway. Just that very, very gentle right crosswind. Just make a really fine-tuned adjustment back on course. Tiny bit low right now. Hold the nose up. That'll also help us bleed some speed off. Back on course. Back on glide path. Just fly the plane nice and gentle to the runway. Tiny bit over. Take the power out. Still a little bit faster than I'd like to be. But that's okay. Nice and easy. Take power out. Nice. Nice and easy down. We're just going to roll all the way down. We floated a little bit there. That's a little messed up, the markings right down here. Oh well. Alright, let's bring the flaps up. And let's actually lean the mixture just a tiny bit here. Let's throttle up the taxi. So we have a little bit of a taxi back. Looking for peak RPM. There it is. Bump it back forward. Back on the throttle. Oh, just a tiny bit fast on the ground here. Just a gentle touch of the brakes. Tell you, totally idle engine, and we're still accelerating on the ground. Alright, well here's gonna be our turn in. And yeah, there's lines missing. Yeah, this airport needs some work in the sim. If you look here, I know I've pointed this out before, but this is where it's kind of written Talkeetna on the pavement, which is actually really neat. What's this? What's he doing? Really? Alright, let's see. So he's just gonna sit here. And here comes a truck. Maybe to pull the bus over for getting in my way, I don't know. Oh, it never fails. Can't really move around it. Nah, it's just gonna sit there. I mean, I can't even turn around it. The good news is these don't render collisions. So, yeah, our wing is in the bus. Really gotta fix the vehicle pathing in this. Alright, and let's grab a place to park. Probably right over here alongside this plane. There we are. Let's go ahead and set the parking brake there. Okay. Landing lights off, nav lights off, strobes stay on. Can shut the fuel pump switch off. Flaps are up. Power should be idle. Again, the throttle jumped. I really need to figure out why it's doing that. Get it fixed or get it replaced. Alright. Gonna go ahead and do idle cutoff on the mixture. Alright. Clear the annunciators. We can turn the strobe lights off. Magneto switch to off. Avionics. That's messed up, but I'm guessing okay. It was about a 42-minute flight, I take it. A little bit longer than we had planned on, but that's alright, not bad. Absolutely beautiful views. Alternators off. Battery switches off. And here we are. Right on the ground of beautiful Talkeetna. Alright folks, well that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for flying with me as always, and hope to have you aboard on the next one. Hope you enjoyed the view. That's kind of the whole reason I did this specific route. And as always, until next time folks, take care, stay safe, we'll see ya.